Do you have any tips for anyone who's in that spot right now if they're having their writer's block and like they are trying to get, that thought finished, that idea finished?
I mean, my like shitty advice is like start doing some stuff for the plot, like just mix up your life a little bit. That always helps me. But if you want like more less toxic advice, I consume like I try to consume more content when I feel like like the inspiration's lacking. And by content, I don't mean like TikTok, but like watch old movies, listen to old records, listen to them on vinyl, lay on your floor and like smoke weed and whatever. I try to like, I look for albums that feel the way I feel in the moment. Another fun hobby of mine is artists that I love. I go back to their first project.
Well,
even like Stevie Wonder was the last one. Just like, not the first one that popped off, like the first project. I want to see like the demos. Very fun. I don't know. I just look for new things.
Here in The Cut, we challenge our guests to finish a tub of ice cream before the end of the conversation. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night. My name is Adriel Smiley. This is The Cool Table. Now we challenge our guests to finish a tub of ice cream before the end of the conversation. This time we're doing things a little differently. No ice cream this time, but friend of the show, coming straight from the Lost Files.
Yeah.
Welcome to the show, Erin Browne.
Hi.
I don't often say your full name, so that felt very weird.
I know, very official.
Yeah. That was like your govy. Like
my govy, yeah. I know. I think about that constantly. And like, it would have been cool to have like a stage name. But
it's not too late. But I'm also not a stage name person. So
I don't know. Maybe in 10 years I'll pivot and change it to something insane.
Do you got anything in mind? I feel like you got a lot to choose from.
I have a stripper name in reality. Like, it's just a lot of choosing to, I don't know, my middle name's okay.
Yeah, okay. We got lots to start with.
Yeah.
Let's go back as far as we can.
As far as we can.
Scarborough shorty.
Yeah.
I feel like I have every Scarborough artist on the show. Like,
you really do. You have Burma. I'm seeing Burma tonight. Hi, Burma.
Big up Burma. Yeah, I'm like, Scarborough represented.
Clearly.
But where was your start in terms of making music? I know you were in bands, but what were you doing before you were in bands? Like, what were you doing musically before that?
Just being really embarrassing. Like, I was in piano lessons when I was younger, and I lived in an apartment in Scarborough, and I would like sing on the balcony. I was so shy growing up, so shy. So I knew that like, I was like, I think I can say it. I think this sounds okay. But how do you know? Because I wasn't doing it in front of anybody. So it was kind of, just being embarrassing on my balcony. Because my mom did, in fact, tell me like 10 years later she could hear me. But I was like, nobody can hear me.
Oh, you thought you were being low key?
Oh, yeah. Like, not like there's an apartment under and above, but okay. And then it evolved to like singing for friends. Because I literally just wanted to know, like, do I even have a good voice? How do you know?
I guess you're true. Because you can't even tell.
No.
You can't even tell. Yeah.
And if your voice is, thank God, okay, naturally, then like I don't know if this is true. So anyway, then I very abruptly just at 17 was like, being shy is not going to work for stuff I want to do, so we better stop.
And so it just happened like that.
And it kind of worked.
In the interview, you said bands are really hard.
Bands are really hard.
What were you thinking about when you said that? What comes to mind that's so hard about bands?
It's a lot of cooks in the kitchen. It's a lot of opinions in the room. I'm like a lyricist and whatnot, so like control over music is difficult with bands. Not like I'm like, I don't know, too control freaky about it, but like I said, just a lot of cooks in the kitchen. It's also a lot of time spent with people.
Yes.
So
yes, and we know what happens with that.
A lot of intimacy with people. It's a
you think of a joke about like, you can't break up and then get back together like every time you have band practice.
Yeah.
That to me is like this. It's headed downhill.
Yeah,
like the second
I know.
one band member has crushed another band member.
Yeah,
it's just like.
I know. But then it also like adds a little spice. But like, I don't know, Fleetwood Mac. It's like there comes a day when it doesn't work anymore.
We've seen this movie before.
Yeah.
Some things don't need spice. Some things don't need spice. I get what you mean about too many cooks in the kitchen.
Yeah.
Because I feel like, especially how your music is lyrically.
Yeah.
It's not for a group, to kind of dip their fingers into that.
Yeah. I think the stuff I wrote then was pretty different to now. Because like you said, it was just, I don't know, it doesn't feel right sometimes.
Yeah.
It's too intimate to be like
In a band, yeah.
Guys, here's what I wrote today.
Like, we didn't need to know this.
Call your therapist.
Yeah, no, basically. And two, these are just like your real life. Like, I think that's something about your music that, knowing you, I know that, but I do think that the people who are hearing music for the first time, they may think it's just like, oh, this is story time, or it's like that. Like, have you got any, pushback from your lyrics in the past? Because it's like, I always think, I'm like, I know this is about someone, but I wish it wasn't.
Yeah. I was about to say, I was like, from people, yeah, I've gotten like, not pushback, but I've definitely gotten like the odd DM from someone I haven't talked to in a bit that's like, I heard that.
An exclamation point.
Yeah.
Maybe not capitals, but.
Yeah, lowercase, nothing crazy. But I'm like, oh, you heard it. Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that no beef though. Everyone's just like, I heard it. I know it's about me.
So far, so good. The new project's not out, but so far, so good.
Yeah. This new project I think is going to definitely raise some eyebrows.
He's okay. He'll be fine.
And at least you know that for sure now.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
When did this project start? Like, was it something you wrote in the moment, or was this like as soon as you left that situation?
You know what? This is very serendipitous. So tonight's a full moon.
Mm-hmm.
The full moon in June of 2023, I went to see Texas Chainsaw Massacre at Fox Theater, the original one. It's like in the 70s. It's gorgeous. I'd seen it before with a certain somebody. And I'd seen this movie a bunch of times, but for some reason that day, something felt so different. And I left feeling like, I love 70s movies. It's a huge like inspiration.
It's 70s horror.
Yeah, it's like I pull a lot of inspiration like aesthetically and whatnot. But anyway, something about the movie that day felt so different. And my relationship with the person I was with may or may not have been a little complicated at the time. So we left the movie, walked down to the water. This like big juicy full moon was out. And we had like a really crazy conversation about like the fate of being together. Like there was no real conclusion, but it was like a big heavy conversation. And I was just like, this is so woo-woo, but I was like, something feels different now. And it was that day that I went home and started working on this. And then I'm telling you, I had writer's block trying to finish this for 8 months.
Damn.
Like it didn't work. I knew I wanted like 4 or 5 songs. It's my first conceptual project. Shout out to the people that make them because it's so hard. But I knew I wanted like a cohesive story, beginning, middle, end. But there was no ending. And it was like 8 months of the worst writer's block I've ever had. And I was like, I don't understand. I thought it was him sometimes. I was like, maybe he's like, I'm not creative enough when I'm with him. I didn't know what it was. And then, spoiler alert, he broke up with me. And that was the ending.
And I guess that's where did that ending to the EP come from?
And then I finished the EP in a day.
Well, thank God that he did that.
Shout out. For real.
Because
so,
we needed the EP. So
thank
God.
And I'm telling you, like, I knew there was an idea there, but it wasn't flowing. I didn't know it was wrong. And then he left. And I was like, oh, you had to leave. That was the end of the story.
Yeah. I actually had something in here by asking you about, like, losing inspiration. Do you have any tips for anyone who's in that spot right now if they're having their writer's block and, like, they are trying to get, that thought finished, that idea finished?
I mean, my like shitty advice is like start doing some stuff for the plot, like just mix up your life a little bit. That always helps me. But if you want like more less toxic advice, I consume like I try to consume more content when I feel like the inspiration's lacking. And by content, I don't mean like TikTok, but like watch old movies, listen to old records, listen to them on vinyl, lay on your floor, and, like smoke weed and whatever. I try to like. I look for albums that feel the way I feel in the moment. Another fun hobby of mine is artists that I love. I go back to their first project.
Oh,
even like Stevie Wonder was the last one. Just like, not the first one that popped off, like the first project. I want to see like the demos. Very fun. I don't know. I just look for new things.
I think that's good advice. And I think you could do a mix of both.
Yeah,
you know, like you could do some stuff for the plot.
And then when you get home, you put on something.
Yeah, I think those are both great answers.
It works for me.
Depending on where you land on the spectrum of toxicity.
Yeah, depending on where you're at.
Yeah. You described this project as it's giving anxious attachment and it's giving BPD. Do you want to talk about that? I know I have this album in the back because you said that.
Here we go.
I said this is the perfect
Not the
one.
Kanye. I have BPD. I'm very open about it. Yeah, it's just for those that don't know, it's essentially like a heightened version of like I don't know, anxiety, depression, all these things. I'm okay a lot of the time, but I essentially am a little irrational sometimes. You have a hard time with a diagnosis like that, managing how serious things are. So sometimes very minor things happen and I think it's the end of the world. Or, yeah, I'm really good at flipping out, basically. So, and I think I definitely did, like I said, the way this story of the project, which was unfortunately pulled from my life, it was a little dramatic for kind of no reason.
Yeah.
But hey, that's good for art at least. And yeah, it was a very anxious, attached sort of relationship. We weren't super compatible that way. And by that, I just mean like, again, like everything felt very heightened. And now in retrospect, looking back, I don't think it was. But while I was in it, everything seemed so serious and so detrimental.
I know those ones.
Yeah. And now I look back and I'm like, oh my God, it's fine.
It's crazy because when you're in it,
you can't fix it. You can't tell yourself that in the moment. It was the end of the world. And like, it was that serious. And now looking back, I told you, I ran into him last weekend. It's not that serious. Yeah. It's like, oh my God, it's fine.
It's such a relief.
Everyone lived.
When you can look back and you're like, everybody's fine.
Yeah,
man.
like it was okay.
It's not the end of the world. So yeah, I'm happy that we got to that place.
Yeah, somehow. Life after love.
Listen, that's the new name of a show, Life After Love.
Life After Lockup.
That's what I'm saying. That's a banger right there. So Life After Love. So I know you probably heard this that the Love is Blind auditions are coming to Toronto.
Is that true?
I think it's true.
This is how I find out. Okay.
Okay. Is there anyone in your life, whether they're another artist, whatever, that you feel like you want to just like suggest this to them? Like, okay, these are the people who I feel like should apply for it.
Oh my God.
I know Love is Blind Toronto is going to be
I didn't know
insane.
that.
Yeah.
I love that. I mean, I have a lot of like, I won't call no one out right now, but I have a lot of close personal friends that are so mixed up that I'm like, you would all do great. But as like an artist to name offhand, like, who's funny? Like maybe my friend Cash.
Okay.
He runs Smoked events in Toronto. Cash XO. I feel like Cash is so funny, and Cash would be endlessly entertaining.
Yeah, I'm so interested to see what kind of people get on there because Toronto comes in different shades.
Yeah, it surely does.
You know, so it's like you could have Love is Blind Scarborough, and it could look a little different.
I don't know if we want that. Love is Blind in Scarborough.
Love is Blind Scarborough would hit. I don't even want to hear it. Love is Blind Scarborough. I would just join for the content.
I was gonna say I'm very in love, but I would go just for the vibes because I'm like I gotta see what's going on here.
Yeah, Love is Blind Scarborough. So I like the thought of that. I'm like, what kind of Toronto they're gonna get?
Do we do like a micro version? Do we do like a YouTube version?
Yeah, something like that. Some kind of like
Love is Blind. You didn't hear that,
but we just do the pods. We don't even go all the way.
Like, I just want to see people talk. I really do tune out after that.
Oh yeah. Very, very, very interesting.
I didn't know that. Wow.
Yeah, no, I'm excited. I'm like, I hope someone I know in some way, shape, or form.
We know a lot of interesting people. I'm sure someone's gonna get in there.
And what I do want secretly, and let me knock on wood because I hope this actually doesn't happen.
Okay.
But I have an ex that goes on there, and it's just a whole referendum on everything.
Yeah, like 4K. Yeah, that would actually be amazing. Oh my God.
Right? Let's manifest that.
Yeah.
You start this project with this line where. I think this is what makes your music interesting, and this project specifically, because I think what you're saying and the sonics of it are in two different worlds.
Okay.
And I feel like, again, this is a project where you're talking about so many things that are personal to you, very graphic. Like you're very, very descriptive in how you talk about things. But the sonics is mostly calm. There's very little drums.
Yeah.
You know, it's so smooth. So I always find it interesting of like, someone is probably hearing this sonically and being like, oh my God, this is such a nice story. I'm happy for her, you know?
Yeah, I'm happy for her.
But it's like, if you hear what she's actually saying, and you start off saying, I love the feeling of leather brushing on my skin, keeps me distracted from when the teeth start sinking in. So tell us a little bit about that.
Like I mentioned earlier, anxious attachment. It's so interesting that you noticed the sonic thing because this was kind of on accident. It's for some of us, love is complicated because my brain doesn't work that well. So the scary part isn't necessarily the breakup. The scary part is catching feelings sometimes because I'm like, I don't want to
Preach.
do this. Oh
Preach.
no. So that's kind of what that opening song is about, is like the fear of like, oh no, like shit. And it wasn't intentional, but the EP is like the course of a relationship. So like, but love at first sight to like, oh, maybe something's off, to like decline, and then ultimately being left by yourself. Sonically, it starts more somber, like you said, and then the last song is quite like poppy and happy, which is opposite, which wasn't actually intentional. But like I said, when you're living in like this anxiety place in a relationship, I was obviously heartbroken, but there was a huge relief when it ended, which was like, it made me sad at the time because it's like, damn, I don't know what that means, but I mean, I know I'm not alone in that. I'm sure other people feel the same, but it was actually an accident. The like, the full upswing in terms of like the tone of the music anyway. Like it wasn't intentional.
Yeah, and then getting to Truck Bed, you talk about like how that's a different kind of tone.
Yeah.
I think Truck Bed is interesting to me, and I think to me it fits as an outro, even though you said that wasn't intentional, because it is almost like, all right, it's gonna be all right. You know, it's gonna be okay.
Yeah.
So I like Truck Bed for that, like just that tone to be okay, things are fine.
Yeah, like like I said, that's really how things felt at the time. Like, oh, this sucks. This wasn't the plan, but like you're kind of safe when you're single. So there was just a little bit of like,
you heard it here first.
Yeah,
you heard it here first.
Yeah, it's a little more peaceful sometimes.
Listen, I'm trying to tell everyone, stay single 2024. I'm coming up on my single anniversary.
Me in a relationship.
Celebrating. I know.
I love you.
I'm gonna be celebrating 2 years single. So I feel like I should have some like anniversary shot or something.
You should.
You know
anniversary with yourself. You put on the rose petals.
I had an ex that was absolutely a lunatic. So my friend, no, I heard the EP. My friend sent me a calendar invite and said, we're gonna take a shot every year on the day that y'all broke up to celebrate.
Oh my God, that's a friend.
Yeah,
in my calendar. Google's like, hey,
so
next week.
That's a real friend.
Oh my God.
My favorite song is Pulling Teeth.
Really?
Yeah.
Yay.
Pulling Teeth is a big vibe.
Oh, my producer's gonna love that.
Yeah. Talk about that one, because that's my favorite song on the
really?
project.
Thank you. I wrote that song first.
Okay.
That was written first. That's the song I wrote the night we left the movie.
Oh, wow.
And that's what started all of this. And I knew then, I was like, this is the middle point. Because I knew then, like I said, I didn't know where this was going. I didn't know why I had writer's block, but I knew, I was like, I'm in the middle. I don't know how this ends, but I'm in the middle. And that song ended up being the middle of the EP. And it's the one, ironically, that we finished last, like production-wise, which was funny. And it went through a lot of cycles. It sounded very different for a long time. I had one guitarist and then ended up pulling in another one. And then we liked the direction that the second one went in a little bit more, so we went with that. But anyway, it sounded very different. I wrote it. It's on my TikTok, actually. I posted like a shitty recording of me writing it that night. And it was just guitar and my voice, and the production was very different, and then somehow it came all the way back to just guitar and vocals.
I think it makes sense that you said this is like the middle of the stage.
Turning point.
Because it feels like the most emotional
and like quiet.
song.
Like a like stop and think kind of moment.
Yeah, it's like when you're frustrated, but you're not gonna scream. You just do a little Arthur fists.
Yeah. I got Arthur fists. Oh, so much of the time.
Yeah. So that's what it feels like. It's like I'm frustrated, but I'm not gonna scream and yell. I'm just gonna.
Yeah. That is that is so like, very perceptive of you. Just like very much that of like so frustrated, but like the fight is not, I don't think it's worth it. I'm so mad, but it's like, I do not think, I don't think I'm going to swing. I think I'm going to like bow out.
Yeah. It's like, I'll see you.
And we like, I'm sure a lot of people have been there too. That moment of like, oh, I think they're going to leave.
Yeah.
I think this is done.
You can kind of feel it.
Yeah.
Because what you said earlier about the relief you feel when something's done.
Yeah.
That it's like, especially when it's unexpected, like you thought when it's done you were going to be heartbroken, which most time,
totally.
And sometimes it's like two things can be true. You can be heartbroken and feel relief, but you didn't anticipate the relief. You anticipated the heartbreak.
No, and it was it was mostly, in this case anyway, it was mostly relief, and that was really like striking to me, and that's why Truck Bed ended up the way it was, being like literally just a pop song, because I was like, it feels kind of okay. I was sad, but I was like,
nah, truck bed is like, okay, she took her head out of the covers.
Yeah.
Like that. That's
oh my
what
God,
that
the dust
is.
settled.
Yeah, that's what that one is to me. And then we can't not talk about this song because I think there's some lines on here where I was like, yo, Erin talking her shit.
What?
I'm jealous.
Oh.
Does she touch you like I do? That's that shit.
That's a little angry. Yeah.
And this is probably the one time where I'm gonna be pro your toxicity because it's better you said that in a song than in a DM.
It's so true. I did not say it in reality.
You know what I mean? Because that's something in reality where it's like you're saying you
mind your business.
The block is spun at the wrong time.
Yeah, exactly. Don't start a fight for no reason.
You know,
choose peace.
You know,
but that's what music's for.
So talk about jealous because I feel like jealous is definitely like. I think it's interesting that you call it jealous, and I want to ask about that as well, but. It doesn't sound like you want this person back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But there's still those things of like, you don't got it like this. She don't touch you like I do. So talk about that kind of dichotomy of both of those. Because I don't get the sense you want this person back on jealous. Yeah. But there's still those kind of jealous traits and jealous characteristics in the lyrics.
You are a very active music listener.
Thank you.
I appreciate it.
Thank you.
Yeah, Jealous was the single that was released first. So that came out in October. And yeah, like you said, it's this like angry, almost spiteful place. But I kind of don't want them back exactly. Like I'm so mad, but like, I feel like this is the end. You know, like the final fight or like that kind of thing.
Yeah. Like I'm gonna get my shit off, but like don't run back.
Yeah. Like I just want you to know that I'm angry, but I don't need you to do anything about it. And I released it when I was still like a little angry. So it felt nice.
Fresh?
It felt nice, yeah. It wasn't even that fresh, to be honest. I was just mad still. And that's what's been interesting, too, about, like, working on this. It's been a year, the full year of, like, when I finished the writing. I finished in St. Vincent on vacation, looking at, like, where my dad grew up. And then we finished it this February. So it's just, like, total full circle. But I've been in various states of like mourning the end of this relationship as we work on this project. And it's so funny to work on a song like Truck Bed of like, everything's gonna be okay when you're pissed still. Like I did not feel okay. And then there were days when we'd be working on Jealous and I was like, I'm not even mad at him anymore. Like it was just so funny that like.
You gotta just tap back in.
Because like the songs don't go in order per se. Like a movie, you don't shoot them in order. But anyway, Jealous was very much, like you said, just the petty song.
Yeah,
you know, less nuance. And it's actually pulled, he really was so helpful with writer's block now that I'm like saying all this out loud. That's pulled directly from a conversation because I was told, you sound so jealous. And I was like, I am. Like,
damn.
Hello? Like, I'm not mature. I'm not too grown for violence. Like I said, I'm not mature. I'm just jealous. Yeah, you're right. Do something about it.
Don't kill me.
Anyway, so that song was not overcoming nothing, just like admitting like the like failure almost of like I am just like this isn't working. I'm just jealous. This might not work.
In some ways, that's the healthiest song.
Maybe.
You know, because
given the situation.
Because sometimes what you need is to get your feelings out more than actually do something.
Yeah.
You know, I think sometimes when you're in a situation like especially something that's toxic with someone, it's like. Either it's not all the way done or it's not working or even it's done and maybe you want to rekindle. It's like, I don't need to take action here. I just need to get my feelings out, you know?
Totally,
and I'll feel
totally.
So in a sense, I kind of think that's kind of a plus of that one. It's like.
Thank you. Validate me, Kay. Thank you. It's true. It's really true. Like
listen, I'm trying to end the propaganda that Erin is toxic. Like,
I'm a good girl. I'm reformed. I'm really
little
reformed.
by little. Choice of reformed. Reformed is like one step below domesticated.
Yeah, I don't know about that.
That's what I'm saying. Like, I was like, that's just one. That's the next thing.
If I get too close to that, I just start acting out.
Yeah, no, all of us.
Yeah,
all of us.
Yeah, no.
Some people aren't supposed to be domesticated. Okay, no. Can I get an amen? Now they say the top 5 people in your life help you be who you are. Now, who are the people in your life who help you be yourself? Now, your top 5 can be 2 people, or it could be 10 people.
Wow.
But who are the people in your life who kind of help you be who you are, keep you grounded?
What a good question. My best friend Whitney, longtime best friend. She's seen me for real. She's seen me through all type of men, all type of love, all type of, pieces of breakups and whatnot. She's seen me in horrible places. She's seen me relapse. She's seen me thrive. And just having a friendship that's that long term as someone who had like a more unstable upbringing. I don't have a lot of like long term childhood friends. So just having someone like, to grow with for that long term is really wonderful. So she's very grounding, and she's just a constant. To have people like that, it's just, And then, so corny but true, my mom, I'm super close with my mom. She's
Bigger
like,
moms.
for real, she's like, I don't know, the guiding light. I have a pretty tiny immediate family. It's just me, my mom, and my sister, and she steers the ship. She's very, and I'm a lot. Like, imagine me as your kid, and she's very open-minded and open-hearted, and I endlessly appreciate that. Cassie, another really close friend, also a friend that's, been on her own sobriety journey. I love having people in my life that can relate to those kind of things. Who else? Corny as well, especially after all the shit I just talked about. My boyfriend is great. As I mentioned, I've learned in other relationships, some people, you do not thrive. Maybe it's good to question why, even if you like them. Maybe it's good to look around and be like, I'm not doing as much as I used to do. That's not the case. Freddie's very poppin' and busy, and it makes me want to be busy too. And he's a great cheerleader. So
We love that. We love that.
That feels like the top 5 right now.
Okay, that's solid. That's solid.
Top 4, top 5.
Yeah, no. You got some cheerleaders on your team. For sure.
Nope, there's a 5. There's a 5. Big ups. Riley, my astrological woo-woo mommy. She's like my super close friend. And she was honestly like, pretty much in this particular breakup that this EP ended up being about, she was the number one therapist and comrade and fellow crazy girl. And also she like brought me back to the spiritual side when I really was about to choose violence. So
screaming. Big up Astro Mommy.
Yes.
Big up Astro Mommy. No, needed.
For real. It really was.
100%. I know. I like that. And I like that she got her shout out at the end, because I feel like imperative.
Exactly.
Like, where
would
we be without? Okay, so you just celebrated a birthday. You're an Aquarius, like myself, right? Okay, so we got an Aquarius podcast panel. For anyone else who's celebrating their birthday throughout the rest of the year, okay, do you have any suggestions of what they could do for fun on their birthday? Because I think that Aquarius, we do everything the best. So I think if you're going to take advice from anyone, probably should be an Aquarius. So what advice do you have for someone celebrating their birthday later on in the year, and maybe they don't want to do a party, but they want to do something solo? What are your suggestions for them?
You know what? I spent a lot of birthdays solo, because I'm like, it's very girly pop of me, but I love crying on my birthday. I love hating my birthday. So I spent a lot of birthdays not throwing a party. So I feel like I'm pretty good at that. I love like a solo trip moment. I love not reminding anyone it's my birthday and then just taking off. And then people are like, oh, like, what are you doing in LA? I'm like, working and like whatever. But also like, it was my birthday yesterday.
Yeah.
Let it fly by. And like, introspective journaling and all these things. For real though. But
for real though.
Yeah, just like, looking back and whatever. But honestly, I've like broken the curse a little bit. I used to have a really like hard time with birthdays, but the last few, I'm like, growing older is a privilege, and there was a long time that no one thought I'd live this long. So I'm like, it's it's worth celebrating.
Yeah. No, I'm the same. I wasn't a birthday person.
Yeah.
I had a birthday party this year, which is the first birthday party I've had maybe in like 5-6 years.
Okay, cool.
Well, I think solo trip. I did a solo trip for my birthday. So I'm with you. That's always what hits.
It really hits, yeah.
And knock on wood, this is not how it always is. But whenever I have included someone in my birthday, 11 times out of 10 they mess it up. So
you know what? That's so true. I took a lot of inspo this year from like my sister and like a couple close friends that have thrown themselves really sick birthdays. And if you want something done right, you gotta do it yourself. So.
No, 100%.
A very cute little pre this year. And then also more advice if you want to party a little bit. Don't throw the party yourself. Just like find an event going on and just bring everyone to that.
That I think is what I probably should have done.
Shout out Pep Rally.
Yeah.
It was very fun.
I think that's what I may do next year, is like find something that's popping, that's our speed.
Because then it's kind of every man for themselves. It's like have a little pre, people bring you a gift or whatever, like have your like more intimate moment. Yeah. And then just everybody go out.
Yeah, and
you're in charge of your own good time.
I want people to be free. I don't need everyone to mix and mix. Like,
totally.
You know what I'm saying? Everyone be free, go spread your wings.
And that was the rave that in my very, very sober, coherent state, of course, at like 3 a.m., I ran into this person right before the EP came out.
Wow. Good God.
Which was really nice. That was the ultimate birthday gift,
Yeah.
to just be like, don't be mad, okay?
Don't you dare.
Yeah.
Don't you dare.
In like 2 weeks or something, don't be mad, okay?
Yeah, that works every time.
Yeah.
No one's going to be mad at all.
It's my birthday. Don't get mad at me.
I think you can still use that for a couple more weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
February's about to end, and I'm still be like,
I literally just stopped using that. Like, I'm January 22nd.
yeah,
We're recording this February 24th. So it's been a couple of days since my birthday,
just a couple.
you know, but
Yeah.
I definitely was going bad bitch with it and like we celebrating the
Birthday
whole month.
month.
No, 100%. I might do birthday quarter next year. And it'll be all April.
Birth year, yeah, April.
It's what we're doing. I don't remember if I asked you this the last time because that interview was 6 years ago now.
Yeah, I guess so.
Something like
Yeah.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
we
must
all
have been.
We all have adult teeth now, but that was a long time ago. We were different then.
I know. Wow.
But when people get $100 million, they usually get an exotic animal. Okay,
Ooh.
I don't make the rules. This is how it goes.
It's mandatory. Yeah.
Michael Jackson with his monkey, Justin Bieber
Hey.
with his monkey.
You got a monkey?
Mike Tyson with his tiger.
You got a tiger?
Yeah.
Oh my god.
So
Okay.
when you get $100 million and you
Speak
got to
on
follow
it.
those rules, what animal you add into your life?
Not to get PETA with it, but there's a couple animals that I don't think I need in my house. But in a universe where it's completely ethical and I have the grounds and they're so happy in my home, I would love I'm really into large lizards.
Okay.
I'd love a Komodo dragon that wouldn't eat me.
Okay.
I'd love a big iguana. I'm from St. Vincent and we have iguana season.
I was gonna say in Jamaica the lizards I said
Serious.
in Jamaica lizards are like spiders. You know you see spiders.
Oh yeah, the little ones, the babies. Oh yeah, yeah.
Okay, so you want some big lizards?
I want a big lizard. I was just in Mexico and I saw some very large iguanas. They were big and handsome. I want one of those.
Well, you got $100 million, so you got the space.
I'm gonna get a couple. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? They can have the guest house.
I'm gonna get 3 or 4. Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? So that's a different. I think that's probably we haven't had anyone bring up reptiles basically at all.
There we go. I'm a cat girl,
on
so that's
this.
surprising. But cats are cheaper than 100 mil. So
Yeah.
I'll have those anyway.
It's too cheap.
Yeah. We got 100 million. I'm gonna get some freaky.
The cats and iguanas getting along. That's
Hey, I don't know. You never know. I think if you get the iguanas first and then integrate the cats, that's my professional opinion.
I'm all about interracial dating. So I feel like iguanas and cats got to be
my
some version of that.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We're all about inclusivity. You know what I'm
Exactly.
saying? Love
2024. Love wins.
Love who you love.
Yeah.
We're just assuming they're gonna like each other.
Hopefully. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll report back.
That beef, who?
I don't know who wins that.
I'm taking the iguana, honestly.
Look at that tail.
But cats
Cats
don't
are spunky.
play.
Yeah, I've had some
though.
cats in my day that my sister's cat right now, Marmy doesn't play.
Yeah, I don't know. Maybe the cats are winning that still.
Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, I'll keep
okay.
you posted.
Okay, this is the last one, and I'm very interested in what you have for this because you've dropped some gems on this episode, helping some people out with their birthdays, with their writing block, with their man who's not their man, with their girl who's not their girl. So you're saving lives all over this episode.
All in a day's work.
Now, we do this segment on the radio show called Wednesday Wisdom, where we look for a motivational quote or saying that either you remind yourself of or the people around you. So what's that quote for you, that motivation that either just always running through your head or that has stuck with you over the years? We need that Scarborough motivation, okay?
Yeah. Honestly, it's a happy problem, but I'm surrounded by so many eloquent philosopher type wisdom that I don't know. I'm so many wonderful people that I feel like I'm constantly getting little things in my ear that make me feel good. But honestly, my therapist in 2022 said pain isn't bad. And I think about that a lot. And that's why that's the last line of the whole EP is it's not bad to hurt. Everybody does.
Yeah. I thought that was such a crazy line to be the end of everything. Yeah.
Relief. I said,
literally, I was
relief.
just like, damn. Damn. Yeah. So
yeah, we're not alone in that. I mean,
pain isn't bad is a good one. It's okay to hurt. Everybody does.
And there's no feeling that you feel. There's no possible emotion that you could have that no one's ever felt before.
That is a big one.
There's peace in that at least.
Yeah, I think that's where sometimes people feel really alone is the
Yeah.
idea that that is what's happening.
Yeah, and it's not possible.
And I say this all the time is like, not everyone wears everything they've been through on their sleeve.
Totally, yeah.
You know? That's kind of the hope is that you don't.
Right.
Because all the things
don't make
that
it
you've
people's
been
problem.
Or even all the things you've been through, it's like, even myself, when I think of things I've been through and I was like, damn, thank God I forgot about that.
Yeah,
My brain deleted it.
Yeah.
So that's a big part of growing as well is like, yes, this is important. Yes, this happened. Yes, this is valid, but I don't need to continue to cry.
Yeah,
you know? So
making peace with things and yeah.
So February 29th?
February 29th. It's a leap year.
Oh, yes. Yes.
I didn't actually know the release date because it got pushed a few times because there was just no rush. I was like, why are we rushing? And then it was quite impulsive that I heard it was a leap year and I was like, done.
Yes.
Hurry. Speed it up. February 29th. Send me the stubs.
That's how we celebrate Black History Month.
Exactly. Running on a high note.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you for joining us. Honestly,
this
has been several years in the making.
I know.
I'm happy we finally
got
got new music. Like,
yeah. It took me a minute. I'm sorry. But it's a full moon and we're here.
Okay, so here are my only notes, okay? Some happy stuff. Okay, now that you're all
honestly,
in,
my happy era might be coming. Yeah.
Okay, now that you're all in love and it's all butterflies and rainbows.
Yeah, it really is. I'm not even lying.
I know. So I'm saying
I'll work on my joy. I'll work on my gratitude. I need to say
you don't gotta go Pharrell happy that level.
Yeah.
Like you don't gotta go all the way there with it. But I think I'm not the only one who would love to see you make some happy music.
No, it's true. There's artists I love too, and like I love a sad girl song, but when you get that happy track, sometimes it does hit. So
yeah,
I think it's coming. To be honest,
no, we're looking forward to it. Everyone, please go ahead and stream that. Thank you for everyone who made it to the end of the podcast. You know what to do. Leave us a rating and a review, 5 stars, not a single star less. Of course, find us on the interwebs at The Cool Table Live on Instagram, at adrielsmiley.com on TikTok, at The Cool Table on YouTube, and of course, until next time, know yourself. Know your worth.